Well, now, I said I wasn't going to do this, but here I am, sticking my nose in books yet again. I have Tiffany Midge's book, Horns, which I mentioned before. Supposed to see her next week at the South Dakota Festival of Books over in Spearfish. Looking forward to that. Looks like Tommy Orange is not going to make it. That kind of sucks. I got Housemaid of Dawn by N. Scott Momaday and Ancient Child Water Lily by Ella Cara Deloria. The new Bad Indians Book Club, which just came out by Patty Krawick. I mentioned this one before. And then let's see what else I got. The Last of the Ophos by Gary Hobson. And a new one I just picked up. It's not really new, but it's new to me. The World We Used to Live In by Vine Deloria Jr. I picked this up yesterday at the Lower Sioux Agency Museum. So I'm looking forward to reading that as well. But actually, today I wanted to share just a bit of reading. I might have done this already. I'm getting so dang absent minded. I apologize if I've already read some of this to you before, but this is from BEARWALKER by Joseph Bruchac. You ready? Here we go. So, if you recall, or if I did talk about this before, this book is about a little boy and it's published by Scholastic, which means it's written for youngsters. Alright, I'm going to read it anyway. We'll just have to deal with repetition. Prologue. I'm writing this in my journal as I lean against an old hemlock. I'm not bleeding so much now, and the writing helps me focus my mind and not fall asleep. I can't allow myself to fall asleep. I have to keep my eyes and ears open. Otherwise, he might creep up on me. People talk a lot about good and evil. Some say that no one is born bad. It's just the result of the way we were raised. But that's not what my ancestors believed. Some beings, some animals and people, and those who are both human and animal at the same time are otgont, twisted away from the path of the good mind. All they care for is power, and they're always hungry. That's the way he is. Did I hear a twig crack? I listen, but I don't hear anything. And that is not such a good sign. On a night like this, when the moon is bright enough for me to see the pages of my notebook and write in it, there are usually sounds in the woods. Unless something big is out there hunting, then everything gets this quiet. As quiet as I am trying to be. Quiet enough that the bear walker won't find me. Ooh, so that's the prologue. I'm going to skip on over to Pioneer Junior High. And again, keep in mind that this book, Bear Walker, by another one of my buddies, Joseph Bruchac. I believe he is. So I forgot what tribe he is now. I have to look him up. Doggone it. I just know he's out on the East Coast. If I remember right, he's Mohawk. But he wrote this book in, let me see what year it was. I need to get him to autograph it for me. Says here he wrote this way back in 2007. Holy! What was I doing? Oh, I was living up in Taiwan, then I moved to Canada, but never mind. Let's read the Pioneer Junior High section. The little boy, this is weeks before. So this is before he was out in the woods being hunted by the bear walker. Pioneer Junior High. I hate the name of my school. Almost as much as I hate the fact that I am the shortest kid in the 8th grade. There are even 6th graders taller than me. But I am not small enough to be forgotten by at least one person as I slouch in my corner desk with my head down. Baron, Mr. Wilbur says from the door of the classroom. Come on, buddy, let's go. Everyone else is outside. So much for my wonderful idea. I should have known it was too good to be true when the principal announced over the PA that any student who was not outside promptly at 9 a.m. and lined up for the bus would be left behind. I shoulder my backpack and go out the front door of the school. I'm mad that my idea about getting out of this special experience hasn't worked. I don't notice that Mr. Wilbur has turned back to get something and is not behind me. Mistake number 1. Mistake number 2 was walking out in the blinding sunlight without noticing what gang of 3 boys is hanging around the door. The 3 main reasons I am dreading the days ahead. Oops, says a familiar voice just before a leg hits my shin, just at the right place to send me sprawling onto my face. My hands scrape the pavement, but at least I don't hit my face and get a bloody nose like I did the first time this happened to me. One thing I've learned in the time that I've been at Pioneer Junior High is how to fall. I look up over my shoulder at the big round face of Asa Denham. His long blonde hair is like a halo lit by the sun around his head, but his amused expression is not that of an attentive angel. His 2 buddies who hang around him like the other 2/3 of a set of Siamese triplets look over each of his shoulders. Ernie Crimmins and Harley Clark look just as self-satisfied as their leader. I don't know which of the 3 tripped me, but they're all enjoying the spectacle of me flattened on the sidewalk like roadkill. Sorry, Asa says. Yeah, Ernie agrees. Sorry you're such a clumsy little shrimp. Shrimp, Harley repeats. His imagination is limited. Not surprisingly, seeing how downed prey always attract the pack, other kids have quickly gathered around. Fight? Someone says in a hopeful voice, as if I were about to get up just to get even more convincingly flattened. Yo! A foghorn tone chips in. What happened to Baron? He trip over an ant? It's Willie Donner, of course. Willie is such a weird match for that big voice of his. He's as skinny as I am, short. But he is always so quick with his sarcasm that no one ever gets a chance to make a crack about him before he makes some biting remark of his own. Someone pushes his way in front, takes my arm, and lifts me up. Come on, Baron, he says. It takes me a moment to realize who it is. I'd been expecting a teacher to be the one to step in, but it's not. It's Cody Campbell. Cody is not just one of the biggest, he's also the best looking guy in the 8th grade. Sort of a teenage Brad Pitt. The girls swoon over him. And because he's not a football player in school, or because he is the best football player in school, the guys all respect him too. Asa and his crew have already taken a few steps backwards to disappear into the crowd. I'm still trying to get over my shock about Cody actually noticing me, much less lending a helping hand to me, when I hear the AP's brusque voice. Move aside, he snaps, as if he'd already had to say something for the crowd to part before him like waters of the Red Sea. No one ever wants to get on the wrong side of Assistant Principal Stark. He stares down at me as if trying to identify some lower form of life that just crawled out from under a rock. "What's going on here, Mr. Braun?" he says. "Did I hear someone say fight?" I'm going to stop it there. Man, I already talked for 10 minutes and 31 seconds. So I'm going to give you a little bit of, this is just, again, as I'm always saying, salt your oats to see if people can get interested in reading this book. BEARWALKER by Joseph Bruchac. It's a little boy, as we've already figured out. He's in the 8th grade. He's being picked on. And looks like he's getting befriended by Cody Campbell, who's the nicest kid and the most handsome kid in the 8th grade. And they're getting ready to go on a field trip. Or to be more precise, they're going to go to Camp Chuckamuck. And they're going to stay there for, I don't know, a week or so. And the teacher, Mr. Wilbur. Mr. Wilbur is going to be in charge of them. So they're all getting ready. They're assembling. They're going to get in the school bus. They're going to ride out to Camp Chuckamuck out in the mountains and have a good time. And they're heading for a head-on collision with catastrophe. There's a wild, crazy man or a crazy creature loose in the woods. And that's all I'm going to tell you. About poor little, oh no, I forgot what his guy's name is. Braun? I think his last name is Braun or Bruin. Says he's a Mohawk Indian, belongs to the Bear clan, appropriately. Baron Bruin or Baron Braun, something like that is his name. So he is our protagonist. And he's going on a field trip with all the other 8th graders, including some bullies and the most handsome kid and his teacher. So they're all going together and they're getting ready to have this wonderful experience and tragic and scary experience at Camp Chuckamuck. So again, I've already talked too much. 13 freaking minutes. I'll knock it off there and welcome you to check it out. So that's all for now. Hope you guys have an awesome day. Talk to you later.
Bye bye.